Welcome to Slaughterhouse Stories. I hope you enjoy the story I have for you tonight. It all started on a Friday morning. I was sitting alone, lighting another cigarette, checking my Facebook, and seeing everyone having a life but me. All of my friends had moved on to college or had a job. What did I have? A writing career that would never start. Ideas for songs, books, and video games that would only fester in my mind. I couldn't get into college because I was an idiot and said fuck the ACT. I had effectively ruined my life. As I went into the house to get a glass of milk, something caught my eye. A shadow seemed to move by itself. I thought nothing of it. After all, it's easy to get spooked in this house. I proceeded out to the kitchen, poured me a glass of milk, and went back to my room. My cat, Binks, was laying lazily on the bed. He barely acknowledged my presence. I then sat back at my computer and began to cycle through some of the controversial humor there was to find on Facebook. Now that I think of it, I practice Schadenfreude a lot. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw it again. A shadow moving by itself. I turned but saw nothing. I went back to surfing the web and found I was on a completely new site. The site itself was not creepy. It was a website for some hotel. I figured I had had enough of the internet for now and shut the computer down. I turned off all the lights and went to sleep. I woke up sometime later to the sound of a child laughing. Not that pleasant laughter that they make when they play, but that laugh they make when they're burning ants or something. I looked around for the source, but I could see none. The laughter became more twisted and lower in pitch. I jumped out of bed and turned on the lights. In front of me there was a small figure. It had no face. No clothes, no anything. It was just a dark thing in the shape of a child. It reminded me of what a black hole would look like if it had been given shape. It reached out as if to touch me, but I backed away, my stomach receiving a quick punch of revulsion. It simply laughed again and disappeared. I stood there sweating like I did during my PT with JROTC. I tried to sit down, but then I thought of something. Where was Binks? I looked into his usual spots, but I couldn't find him. Then, I looked into the litter box. He had been smothered in his own piss and shit. I took his body out of the box. I held him to my chest and began to cry. I heard my brother, his girlfriend, and my mother all at the door yelling for me. All the while, our 4 dogs were barking. I tried to contact them, but it was no use. I was in my own hell. All of a sudden, the knocking and yelling ceased, and I was covered in blood. I dropped Binks and ran for the door. I bashed and crashed until the door gave way. I saw them lying neatly on the floor, with the child shadow giggling behind them. I lunged at him. I strangled him. I stabbed him. I drowned him. I bashed his rotting head in. His blood was pink and cold. It felt like heaven. He finally died while I bashed his head with the refrigerator door. It was done. He was dead. I crawled over to my family and crashed. I cried and cried. It's been 8 years now. My prison cell is very cold and uncomfortable, but that doesn't matter. All the discomfort in the world doesn't match the fact that I still hear the child's laughter. That's it for tonight's story. But before we end things, your favorite scary story narrator, me, I hope, would like you to check out the Slaughterhouse Stories podcast. Available at all your favorite podcast sites. So download and subscribe. Be a listener, not a victim. And as always, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed tonight's story, please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time,
stay spooky.